Good evening and welcome to Blueprint Explosive Exclusive. I'm Madhavdas G. An incident that occurred in Nashik has sent shockwaves. It's a Sunday picnic that turned into a horror story. A family outing descended into complete lawlessness. What began as this particular family outing ended in terror, violence and humiliation. Take a look at these shocking visuals on your screen. It's a chilling incident that's been reported from Nashik's Igatpuri, where a family was allegedly assaulted, robbed, brutally attacked and almost lynched after they confronted a group of men for sexually harassing one of the women family members. This incident occurred at the waterfall section of Igatpuri on Sunday. As per the victims, a group of men at the site whistled at and allegedly sexually harassed Poonam Bhagwat. When the family objected to this behavior, the situation escalated and the accused turned aggressive. The horror, however, did not end there. The accused allegedly chased the family for nearly 15 kilometers on a motorcycle, armed with sticks and iron rods, vandalizing their car and leaving them in a traumatic state. Just listen in. Now, acting swiftly, police have arrested 9 accused for allegedly chasing and attacking a family for nearly 15 kilometers after this alleged incident of sexual harassment. 3 accused are still on the run, and police say stringent Makoka provisions will be invoked against these accused and have assured that justice will be delivered.
इस अनुचित घटना के अकॉर्डिंगली जो है वो पहले अंबड़ पुलिस स्टेशन में 0 नंबर से जो एफआईआर रजिस्टर हुआ उसको अकॉर्डिंगली वो तुरंत हमने वीडियोस और बाकी टेक्निकल एनालिसिस करके इसमें हमने 9 आरोपी अभी तक निष्पन्न किए हैं, जो कि एफआईआर में 6-7 आरोपी थे, बट इसमें जो शेल्टर देने वाले आरोपी है या फिर एसोसिएट्स है जिनको इन्होंने हेल्प किया था वो भी हमने इसमें आरोपी की है और अभी तक हमने 9 आरोपी इसमें ताबे में लिया है। इस पे आगे की जो कार्रवाई है वो आगे की कार्रवाई चल रही है। बाकी हमारी टीम जो है वो भिवंडी है, वाड़ा है और जो भी बाकी एरिया है जहां जहां हमको लगता है उस एरिया में हमारी टीम अभी कार्यरत है।
Let's go across to our guest now. Joining us, we have Abha Singh, lawyer and activist with us. Meghna Pant, author and activist, also joining us. Abha Singh, extremely shocking incident that has been reported. You know, and this raises serious questions. If this can happen near a big tourist spot, near a city like Nashik, this can happen to any family in our country at any point of time. Abha Singh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You know, it's very shocking, and when I'm listening to the cops, it really worries me because this continued for 15 minutes on a highway and no police patrol car was there. And when they say that we are at a call away, it shows that the police failed miserably because the way brutally they broke the glass. First they molested the girl and then they had the audacity to break the windows of the car, chase the car, and now you are arresting. So that does not solve the issue that the roads are unsafe. That is what the message goes, and people are not scared of the law. Absolute gundaism on the roads of Mumbai Nashik highway. The chief minister is the home minister. I think Mr. Fadnavis needs to answer the people of this country, and especially the girls and women.
Absolutely. In fact, you know, Meghna Pant, at the end of the day, you know, every family goes out on a weekend. They go out, they see tourist spots. The road trips are not uncommon. With a burgeoning middle class, it's going to happen more and more. But, you know, these kind of incidents happen. They're going to raise serious fears. Are the citizens of this country, are our weekend trips, are our highways really safe?
Madhav, what worries me the most about this incident is not just this harassment, but also the hooliganism. I mean, what are these guys doing? There's such a dangerous culture of impunity, the belief that you can intimidate, threaten, and even resort to violence without any consequences. And this is a mindset that is not emerging overnight, Madhav. It is reinforced by this culture that we have that excuses this aggressive behavior of boys being boys. It glorifies machismo. It fails to teach young men that consent is not just about saying no. It's about respecting another person's autonomy, dignity, and boundaries in every single interaction. So consent and respect have to be taught at home. It has to be taught in schools and in colleges just as seriously as we're teaching maths or science, right? But education is not enough. We also need this education to be matched by enforcement. Where is that swift and visible enforcement of the law? When offenders know that there will be no real consequences, there will be no
Absolutely. I
behavioral
completely
change
agree with you.
then.
No complete breakdown of any, forget conscious, even of civility. When somebody
Yes.
points out a mistake, one expects others to learn from it. Rather than this, people are brazing it out as we are seeing over here in this incident. Please stay with us, Abha Singh as well as Meghna Pant. We're also joined by former top cop Kiran Bedi. Kiran Bedi ji, thank you so much for joining us here on Times Now. And as we are discussing this shocking incident coming in from Maharashtra, a regular weekend outing for this particular family in Nashik has turned into a nightmare, where there are these two men who have allegedly sexually harassed a woman family member, and when objections are raised, their car has been chased by these men for over 15 to 20 kilometers. As per the victim, there were eventually 10 to 12 persons who came at them and started smashing the car with rods. As a former top cop, what are your first thoughts on this brazen attack happening on our streets?
Look, we have a large bulge of Indian youth or this kind of age group, which rowdies, they are rowdies, they are vagabonds, they are looking for entertainment. We have a very large section of the society which has never been schooled well, never parented well. So you have a lot of ruffians on the road. So answer is, to my mind, is prevention. Whatever prevention you can do, I find there's one person in this who was accused, who's on bail for murder or had been accused of murder. Am I right?
Yes.
Look at that. I believe if it's one, more than one, then it proves my theory. But one person I read was somebody involved in even murder case. And if it's more than one, then it's preventive policing. It's preventive policing. Because when you have such like gangsters at large, and not under any control or under any watch, you are actually leaving them to go about rampaging and rummaging everything they want, anything they want. And certainly when they would look at a family or they would look at a young woman, this is what they would do.
Right. Kiran Bedi ji, please stay with us. The victim in this entire case, Puram, is also joining us. I'd like to thank you so much for speaking to us after this extremely horrific incident, Puram. But it's very important, and I'm glad that you have decided to speak up. I salute your courage as well for talking about the horror that you have faced. Would you like to tell us, aap kya batana chahenge, what is it that your family faced? And what is most shocking is that despite the fact that they were wrong, these are individuals who are deciding to brazen it out, even engaging in this kind of violence. क्या कहना चाहेंगे आपकी इस तरह की जो वायलेंट इंसिडेंट आपके और आपके परिवार के साथ हुई है?
जी कहना तो चाहूंगी मैं। आपने तो वीडियो देखी है, काफी वायरल हो चुकी है। क्या बीती होगी आपको भी सर पता है। ये संडे को सब हुआ है, ये इंसिडेंट बावली डैम पे हुआ है और ये बहुत बुरी तरीके से हुआ है, वेरी बैडली, एकदम बहुत ही अलग। और क्या बीती है, बच्चे हमारे आज भी डर रहे इतना, हम क्या बताओ आपको क्या है ये।
जी, तो आपकी जो वीडियो जो लिया है वो आपकी बेटी ने लिया है वीडियो, क्योंकि एक आवाज सुनाई दे रही है। किसने ये वीडियो लिया था?
ये मेरी बेटी ने वीडियो लिया है। मैंने उससे बोला कि ये जो बाइक पे आ रहे हैं ना, वो बेटे ने लिया है वीडियो। तो मैंने उनको बोला कि इनका वीडियो लो, कम से कम डिपार्टमेंट को दिखा सकते कि ये लोग पीछे आ रहे थे अपने। अगर वीडियो नहीं लेते तो हमारे पास कुछ भी सबूत ही नहीं रहता हमारे पास।
जी, हमारे साथ बने रहिए पूनम जी। मैं एक सवाल किरण बेदी से भी लेना चाहूंगा। किरण बेदी, दिस इज completely abysmal incident, but when you say that we need to police better, what is it that cops can specifically do to prevent such incidents?
So I think it needs a lot of ground patrolling, camera watches, ground patrolling, where they should know that they should be afraid that the police could come, because you have a very large population of such kind of ruffians and goons at large in the society, looking for their prey, looking for a prey, whether to rob or to extort or to tease. Very large, because now this is that group which is abusing its space and freedom. So they have neither been schooled well, they've not been schooled well, and they're obviously not afraid. So now I believe that some of them have a criminal background. Now let's understand, now as a law enforcer, anybody with a criminal background is on police records, is on bail. Some of them even are on bail. Some of them are on sureties. And they are repeatedly coming to notice of criminal activities. Very important thing is the way how easily we give bail to an unconditional bail. We now need to come to certain anklets where if the court believes and if the court is convinced and the police has evidence that leaving them at large is a threat to society and they could abuse the bail provisions, they could be brought under electronic anklets. Many countries have it. So they are restricted, they are watched, they can be tracked. So I think we need this kind of a system to come into this country.
ये बहुत बहुत अहम सवाल है पूरम जी। क्या आप किरण बेदी जी से सहमत हैं? क्योंकि क्या आपने वहां पे जहां पे सुरक्षा कर्मी हो, पुलिस हो, इस पूरे हाईवे पे कहीं पे आपने पुलिस के पेट्रोल्स देखे थे जो शायद इसको प्रिवेंट कर सकते? क्योंकि 15 किलोमीटर तक आपने गाड़ी चलाई है। इस पूरे दौरान क्या किसी पुलिस इंस्पेक्टर या किसी पुलिस ऑफिशियल को आपने देखा इस पूरे जगह पे?
नहीं, पुलिस को देखा तो नहीं, बट हमारी उनसे कांटेक्ट हो रही थी। हम 112 नंबर पे काफी कॉल कर रहे थे, उन्होंने उठाए भी और पूछ रहे थे मैम आप कहाँ हो, हम वहाँ पे आते, आप कहाँ हो। बट सर हम रुक भी नहीं सकते थे, जहाँ भी हम रुक रहे थे वहाँ पे वो रॉड से वार करके जा रहे थे। हम रुकने का चांस बिल्कुल भी नहीं था हमें, कि जैसे उनकी राह देखे वगैरह, उनके फोन आ रहे थे, वो हमें कोऑपरेट कर रहे थे, बट हम रुक भी नहीं सकते थे उनके लिए, तो हम रुके ही नहीं। जहाँ ट्रैफिक मिली बस उतना ही हम रुके। उसी वक्त पे 6 अटैक बाहर 6 जगह पे अलग अलग हुए टोल नाका तक।
जी, लेकिन इस वीडियो में दिख रहा है कि जहां से आप आ रहे हैं वहां पे काफी लोग हैं रोड के दोनों तरफ, तो आपने रोक के किसी से मदद मांगने की कोशिश नहीं की?
नहीं, हम थोड़े बच्चे भी थे ना कार में, ये सब देख के हादसा, कांच वगैरह फूटना, गाड़ी के अंदर सब कांच आई थी, डर गए थे, रोने लगे थे, तो रुकने की हमने जरूरत ही नहीं समझी। जितना भाग सको भागो। सिर्फ मैंने बोला कि एक बार वीडियो बनाओ, इनका वीडियो मुझे चाहिए इन लोगों का, बस बाकी जितना भाग सकते भागो। फिर हम नासिक तक आ गए रिटर्न।
Right. And Abha Singh, one of the points that Kiran Bedi made is very, very pertinent in this. One of the accused in this is actually somebody who's accused of a heinous crime like murder. And yet that person is out. Is it time for us to bring into our jurisprudence, things like radio anklets, etc.? It's there in several jurisdictions. It's a debatable and questionable, provision. But at the end of the day, if this is happening on our roads, what is the other choice we have?
Absolutely, Madhav. People who come out on bail should be absolutely with anklets. Record should be maintained, because you see so many pedophiles come out, then they rape and murder child. In fact, recently also somebody who came out on bail went and murdered the witness, the accused. So all these things need to be looked into. And what is more important, you see the body language of this person, that there is no fear of the law. So for that, I hold the local police responsible. I hold the law and order conviction rate responsible, because these people, either they have protection of politicians, they are political goons who know that their political gods will come and save them. Because I can't believe you and I are doing something like this on a road and creating evidence against us. So this clearly shows protection has been given to them, or they feel that money will get them out. They can bribe the judge, they can bribe the cops and come out. It is something very worrying, because in a public place, not even hiding your face and publicly doing it for 15 kilometers, I would say breakdown of law and order. Nothing more than that, because no cops reach them for 15 kilometers surely shows that the roads are not safe.
Right. And also, in fact, पूरम जी, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा, क्या आपको लगा जिस तरह से ये लोग बिहेव कर रहे थे, 15 किलोमीटर फॉलो किया, गाड़ी पे शीशे पे मार रहे थे, आपको लगा कि इन लोगों का कुछ क्रिमिनल बैकग्राउंड जरूर होगा?
नहीं सर, वो तो नहीं पता चल रहा है, पर शक्ल भी उनकी ठीक है, जैसे क्रिमिनल तो नहीं लग रहे। बट क्या मालूम उनको क्या हुआ, जैसे भी ये मैटर स्टॉप होने वाला था, सब कुछ हो चुका था, हमारा झगड़ा वगैरह जो भी था, सो गाड़ी फर्स्ट अटैम्प्ट में फोड़ी उन्होंने, पहला अटैक किया, वो छोड़ भी सकते थे हमको वहां पे, चलो बावली डैम क्या छोड़ दो उनको, फिर भी वो इतना दूर तक आए, उनके दिमाग में हमको मारना ही था पूरा, गाड़ी का इशू नहीं था, पूरा हमको मारना था।
जी, अनफॉर्चुनेट पार्ट ये है कि शक्ल से क्रिमिनलिटी पता नहीं चलती कभी, बैकग्राउंड क्या है किसी का भी हो सकता है, चाहे किसी भी तबके के हो, किसी भी पार्ट से हो, फेस पे हम बिल्कुल जा नहीं सकते। मैं तो बिहेवियर की बात कर रहा था, क्योंकि उन्होंने इस तरह का आक्रमण किया आप लोगों पे। बट मेघना, आई सी यू नॉडिंग योर हेड, यू वांट टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू दैट?
I think, this dangerous sense of entitlement and this alarmingly lack of fear of consequences, Madhav, all this is very chilling, but perhaps for me, what is the most chilling is that if criminals are out on bail like this, guess who has to protect themselves? What we're not talking about is that, remember, she was with her husband and family, yet that did not deter these accused people. For generations, we've been told that women will be safe if they're accompanied by a man, a father, a husband, or brother. And this case is raising this very disturbing question that if a woman can allegedly be targeted even in the presence of her family, in the presence of men, what hope does a woman traveling alone have? What is the message that is being sent out to women that don't occupy public spaces, don't go out because they're criminals on the loose everywhere you go, even in a safe-ish state like Maharashtra? So remember, this is not ultimately just about one woman or one family. This incident and every such incident makes thousands of other women question whether they should travel at night, whether they should stop at a roadside restaurant, whether they should venture out alone at all, or even with their family. A woman's freedom is not measured by just what the Constitution promises on paper. It is measured by the fact that she can go out in public places without fear of being molested or murdered.
All right, let me bring that question right back to Kiran Bedi. Kiran Bedi, one very important part is that the family was there with the woman and they didn't take it lying down. The victim, of course, with us, Poonam, and they stood up for her as well. But they also almost paid the price with their lives. What is the best course of action in such a situation? Kiran Bedi.
I think this is the best they could do. Where is the prevention if you... And number two, did they try any police control room? Did they call 100 or 112? I don't know. Whether they call, and the best prevention is have 112 in their phone calls and press the button for police help. So we need to have a surety of police response at the quickest. So should gangsters be aware that if they press the button for police control room, so should the police control room be a part of their phone calls so that they can press the button and the police could arrive. So I think until they resist, whatever way they can, best way, whatever way they did, and it's a very remarkable way which they did. As a family, they got together. Men, women, and even children were there. They were very vulnerable, no doubt about it. They fought back. But I think, did they call the police? And if they attempted it, or if they didn't, this is what we need to do. We need to have the police.
Poonam Bhagwat ji, बताना चाहेंगे, salute to you and your family for actually fighting it out, for resisting. That is a very, very important thing that is being stated here by Kiran Bedi. Hats off to you and your family for not giving in to this kind of bullying. पर क्या मौका मिला आपको 112 बटन दबाने का, पुलिस को बुलाने का, मोबाइल से आपने किसी भी तरह की प्रकार की कोशिश की कांटेक्ट करने की?
की काफी कोशिश की। हमारे देवर जो आगे बैठे थे मेरे हस्बैंड के बाजू में, मेरे हस्बैंड कार चला रहे थे, उन्होंने कंटिन्यू फोन किए सब जगह, 112 को किए, जैसे चौकी को ओनली 112 को हमने फोन किए, उन्होंने कॉल उठाए भी सर। उन्होंने बोला कि हम आ रहे, पहुंच रहे, आप कहाँ हो, बट हम लोकेशन हमारा फिक्स बता ही नहीं सकते क्योंकि हम रुके ही नहीं ना उनको लोकेशन बताने के लिए। हम जैसे जैसे जगह में थे हम सिर्फ आगे भाग रहे थे, हम पीछे आ ही नहीं रहे थे, हम सिर्फ आगे आगे ही जा रहे थे। तो हमको ये पुलिस स्टेशन भी नहीं पता इगतपुरी घोटी का, अगर हम पुलिस स्टेशन चले जाते और वहां पे अगर रास्ता नहीं है, बंद है, और ये पीछे से आ जाते तो पूरा वो गेम ही कर देते। इससे अच्छा हमने इतनी रिस्क ली ही नहीं कहीं गाँव में घुसने की, जैसे पुलिस चौकी जाओ या स्टेशन जाओ या किसी को बुला, जितना हो सके भागो, नासिक पे पहुंचो पहले, नासिक में सब अपने लोग हैं, यहाँ पे अपन कर सकते हैं FIR वगैरह ऐसा।
Would you like to respond to that? Because here is a victim who's saying that she tried attempting that calling that number 112, but nothing really happened. It didn't really lead to anything consequential in terms of action by the police. Abha Singh, can you hear me?
Yeah, this is really worrying because the victim is saying that they continuously kept calling the police. But the response time of police was very bad because I am told in Delhi, the Delhi police responds in a minute. So if Nashik police could not respond, and now when they say that they have put sections like attempt to murder, then it is a serious offense and you are accepting that they were trying to kill them. Attempt to murder is a very equally serious offense. So I would, that inspector of that area, the beat policemen, they all need to be suspended, taken to task because had one of them died, What would you have done now? Because you had not responded. And the way these people are attacking, it looks they are in a habit of attempting crime like this. They have no fear of the law. And maybe, you know, today, because of media hue and cry, they may be arrested. Tomorrow they will be out of bail, and they have done this again and again. Because they don't look normal, common people. They look like gundas. They look like hooligans who do crime and come out the next day on bail. So that needs to be looked into. They should not be given bail, because today you have put sections of extortion, kidnapping, murder, molestation, but they'll be out on bail tomorrow. They will bribe somewhere and come out. So it really speaks badly of the system.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. In fact, Puram Bhagwat as well as Dr. Kiran Bedi, Abha Singh and Meghna Pant, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us this evening. Very, very chilling incident. I think state governments everywhere, those responsible for law and order machinery, need to take care, need to ensure that policing is there at the ground level, that in fact those criminals accused of heinous crimes, if they are being let out on bail, then what is the provision for keeping a track on these individuals so that they do not commit such kind of crimes again and cause havoc in society? I think that's very, very important from the perspective of policing, and that certainly needs to be implemented as Dr. Kiran Bedi has suggested. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.